And we're back with another Star Wars Force Arena video. So we've got a post on the forums that are talking about the patch 1.5 preview, and there's some controversial stuff in this that is going to upset a lot of players. Let's get into it right now. Now, this first one I do like quite a bit. It talks about faction-based rating points. Now, there's going to be rating points based on Rebel and Galactic. Now, the reason why I like this a lot is because I'm mostly an Empire player, so I'm probably going to have a very high Empire rating, and I'm going to have a low Rebel Alliance rating. So now I can go in and play as Rebels at a lower tier, and I don't have to worry about that impacting my Empire rating. So I can focus on playing Luke and Lando and learning new things, and I don't have to worry about, oh, I'm only an Empire player or I'm only a Rebel player and I'm not very good at playing Rebels, but now I can play Rebels without worrying about it because I'm going to have a separate rating. So I do like that a lot, and there is some specific things on that where you have to play at least 5 matches a week to get the rewards, and I think that is fine. There's going to be a separate level for each faction, and actually this to me is probably the best thing in this entire patch, because now I can just focus and go hard on Rebels, because I know I'm going to want to be in Kyber on both, and that is very good. Now, this is where it gets into the controversial part, is that ranked matches now are only going to be 1 versus 1, and so there's going to be a Empire rank and a Rebel rank, but that is no longer going to work for 2 versus 2. And I want to say that probably in the top 100, a high percentage of the people are only playing 2 versus 2 ranked, and now 2 versus 2 ranked is just not going to be a thing. I don't really know what would be the reason to play 2 versus 2 at this point. I will stop playing 2 versus 2. It's a little bit broken because it definitely has advantage towards Empire over Rebels, and a lot of the top people are just playing 2 players, and they play just continuously, and they pretty much can win all the time. I know for me, recently, the only time that I get like a 20-0 win streak is when I'm playing with someone that we have our team set up correctly. We go in. It's almost impossible to lose, and I think that is the reason why they're moving away from this. Now, what is really bad is it pretty much just makes 2 versus 2 a non-event. There's like no real reason to play it. It's like they're abandoning that entire part of the game. And also, 2 versus 2 was the only real reason to be in a guild. Now that 2 versus 2 is not going to be a thing anymore, there's not going to be any reason to play 2 versus 2, and it really doesn't give any reason to be in a guild. Guild matchmaking and playing with your guild mates was the whole point, and right now there isn't any content for guilds, so I don't think that's a good thing at all. They have to do something with this because this is just not good at all. Basically, a whole part of the game that I totally love and enjoyed playing is just not going to be a part of the game anymore. Now, I do think it needed to be separated out because it's almost like 2 separate games. Playing 1 versus 1 versus 2 versus 2, it's different teams, different strategies. It's altogether different, and I do think they need to separate them out because it's very different. So please, please, please come out with a ranked for 2 versus 2 or something, and I maybe have 4 different tiers, like a 2 versus 2 Rebels, and then a 2 versus 2 Empire, or maybe having only 3 tiers, like a 1 versus 1 Rebels, 1 versus 1 Empire, and then a 2 versus 2 ranked system. Got to do something. Can't just get rid of this entire part of the game. I think a lot of people are very upset about this, and I can understand why they want to move away from it. So there's also going to be some reward changes. Play packs and free packs will be given the same as before, but when you open the pack, the cards inside will be unlocked based on the faction with the highest tier. So that means if your tier 6 is Empire, but tier 3 is Rebel, all play packs and free pack will be unlocked at tier 6. Cool. I don't know if that's going to impact me much because I'm always in Kyber. This means that it'll be possible to get tier 6 cards from your tier 3 faction because these packs will open based on your highest faction. Victory packs and credit reward. These packs will be given based on each faction tier, just like before. You will get the reward based off your opponent's tier if you win against higher tier opponents. All right, and then it also goes into some improved matchmaking elo. Not really sure what that is. And then this is also very good right here, replays. So this is like other games where you can replay the matches. I can't wait to see this because I want to go back and see where I made mistakes. It'll be much easier to make videos where I can say this was a really good battle. I can play it back for you and do commentary or after the fact and so on. So I think a lot of people are asking for this. So I think these changes are good. It just seems like they're completely abandoning the 2 versus 2, and this really bothers me because I really liked it, and now I'm not going to want to play it at all. Although I will say it was kind of frustrating to be on at the same time as somebody else where you're on the same page and play together, and it was very infrequent when I would be able to play, a fun 2 versus 2 session and just play for hours. I mean, there were several times where I would just go from like 5,600 to 6,000 in just a couple of hours with one person, and that was a total blast. I love that a lot. All right, guys, what do you think about this? Are you indifferent towards the 2 versus 2? I don't know. I think I'm going to miss it. I hope they do something else with it to put it in ranked. And the other thing, too, I do think that if everybody's playing 1 versus 1 instead of some of the people playing 1 versus 1 and the other people playing 2 versus 2, this should help the matchmaking quite a bit. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and keep on gaming.